Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'll be offering my first impressions of the new trainer trial, the Half-Year Havoc. So, Half-Year Havoc is a really unique trainer trial in the sense that you can only play with cards that are from the latest 3 sets of the game. So those sets being Destined Rivals, Journey Together, and Prismatic Evolutions, including all the trainers that are there, so you can't actually use any trainers outside of these sets as well, it's not just limited to Pokemon, which means your trainer counts end up looking a bit like this. It's very weird. There's no like generic Pokemon search outside of things like Poffin and Bugcatcher set, and I guess like some Team Rocket support. So it's a very, very strange and unique format, I would say overall. You're definitely like more lenient on supporters, at least from what I've found and what I've seen other people doing. But yeah, I decided the best way to do this was to lean into some very powerful supporters that are legal in this format. So I went for Ethan's Adventure as the first deck to just play out the Half-Year Havoc. So Ethan's Adventure, of course, search your deck for 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and Basic RNG, which is just fantastic because we're not playing any Pokemon that aren't Ethan's Pokemon. Like, you could play Buddy, I suppose, to just like get a bit of item lock in the early game, but I don't think there's really that many powerful items to worry about in this format. So yeah, it doesn't seem super necessary, and also we can just KO our opponent's Buddy with Ember, which is nice. So yeah, Typhlosion and the whole like Cyndaquil line, I guess, is like the main attacker, so to speak, with that Buddy Blast doing 40 damage and then 60 more for each Ethan's Adventure in your discard pile. But we also have quite a thick line of Ho-Oh, playing 4 copies of it. So this one, of course, can charge up energy to itself or any of your benched Ethan's Pokemon. And then Shining Feathers does 160 for 4, and then you get to heal 50 from each of your Pokemon. And then the only other attacker that we run is Magcargo. And I think maybe you could honestly remove a Slugma in favor of like an additional trainer, because 29 is a bit on the light hand side of trainers, really. But yeah, I think overall it's been working out quite nicely for me. So I don't really want to change things if it's not broken. But overall, very solid overall, I would say. Some other things to consider, though, is like just before we close out things, is I do think Drayton's also pretty decent. I've also seen some people use this supporter, Larry's skill, which says discard your hand and search your deck for Pokemon, a supporter, and a basic energy. So this can guarantee a very certain Pokemon that you really want, but I've just found that overall Brock's scouting is a bit nicer on the hand. Like, you can find either like a Magcargo or a Quilava with this, or just like 2 Cyndaquil or like a Cyndaquil and a Ho-Oh. So I think Brock's is probably just a bit more powerful overall, but either way, it's a super interesting format. I'm surprised I've not run into like any Team Rocket's decks yet. Like, I think Team Rocket is honestly quite disgusting. I mean, just look at all the dedicated support that Team Rocket has. You know, you have Archer for Disruption, Ariana for Draw, Petrel to get like just any trainer that you want, really. Like, Proton can set up like all your basic Pokemon. Then you also got Team Rocket's Factory for more draw power. And on top of that, you've got like one of the only gust effects in this format in the form of Giovanni. So yeah, I think Team Rockets is probably a bit too overtuned in this format. You know, like Team Rockets with like Arbok, because Arbok is honestly very scary. Like, Arbok just shuts down so many decks like Diplin and things. So yeah, we might have to try out Team Rocket's Pokemon in this set, but unfortunately the trainer trial itself is only going to last like a week. I think there's only 4 or 5 days left after today. So yeah, and that's as we're recording this video. I'm not sure when this video will go up in the end. So yeah, there's not a lot of time really to test out decks. I really want these things to be 2 weeks, because if you have a busy week in life, like, you're just not really going to have a chance to properly try it out. So it's a bit of a shame in that sense. But yeah, let me know what you think about the trainer trial down below. Have you been having much fun with the Half-Year Havoc? And yeah, thank you for watching. So rather tragically, we played a judge, and we basically got the exact same hand, which is a bit unfortunate, but at the very least we can use Ethan's Adventure next turn and get Quilava going, hopefully. That's assuming, of course, my opponent doesn't just KO us here with Terrapagos, which is, you know, something possible, but it looks like from that expression that maybe they don't have the right cards that they need in hand. Although they could Petrel for an escape board and an energy, and at that point we might just be stuffed, but we'll see how this goes. So yeah, my opponent is can't really tell what they're running from here, but of course, because we made them go first, that they got the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. So yeah, very annoying in that sense. But they will be able to Crispin next turn and get a Terrapagos going, which is a bit scary. So we won't be able to hide behind this Quilava for much longer. We get another energy, which is fine. I think what I'm going to go do here, though, is still evolve. And then I think probably just want to go ahead and use Bonded by the Journey, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm happy with doing this. And then we'll just go get another one of these. And then this way we can maybe get a Typhlosion, but I think we're better off actually just getting the boys out here, actually. I think we should just get these guys. And then we'll get that one. So that'll be good. And then I'll go ahead and bench them all. So I'm not actually sure how much damage Arvin's Mabostiv can do. I think it's around the 210 mark, so we might be safe if they don't have the whatchamacallit. What's it called? Maximum belt. That's a spec that's legal in this format. So yeah, there's a couple of A specs that are legal. Prime Catcher being one of them, I think, which is always a bit scary. But yeah, I'll go ahead and use Golden Flame, probably just on itself, actually. We could use Magcargo, but I think Ethan's Ho-Oh is probably just a bit safer for now. And then I could just, yeah. I could save the energy. I guess there's no, like, need to attach it. I don't mind doing this, though. Yeah, I'll attach the energy. That seems fine. And then we'll go ahead and use Combustion. So just get some chip damage on this wannabe Garchomp, I guess. But yeah, they will be able to Crispin. So Crispin on Terrapagos. They also run Eevee. So I wonder which evolution. I mean, they have Lightning Energy, so maybe it's also like an Eevee box. I'm not sure what my opponent is cooking, to be honest, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, Grass Energy. So it is Terrapagos that they're charging up. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't seem so bad. So I have a few options next turn. I could either go find an Ethan's Adventure and then use Carmine. Or I could maybe... No, I think I just have to Carmine. Yeah, I think Carmine is the answer. So they're going to go for the beatdown. And we can still basic Colas Pokemon, right? Okay, so we won't be able to hurt them after the first attack. I didn't think about that, actually. Bit of an oversight on my point. Yeah, that's kind of a shame. But not the end of the world, though. Not the end of the world. So we'll go ahead and do this. I'll get another Ethan's Adventure out the deck, just because we're going to want to use the Typhlosion eventually anyhow. So yeah, that'll be nice. So now we'll have 3 in the discard pile, which is cool. So we'll discard our hand, draw 5. And we just want an energy, really. Like, just one energy. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we get Magcargo as well. That's also good. And no reason to do anything else just yet, so we can just attach energy. Get the first swing in, which is always nice. Do the 160. So my opponent was correct there to take the first KO, because this is going to be a bit more annoying to deal with. Even though we did get the Typhlosion in. So there's Umbreon. Not too much of a threat just yet. Alright, Crown Opal. So we can't do any damage to that, which is a bit of a shame. I will go ahead and use an Ethan's Adventure, I think, though. I think that's probably the correct move here. And we'll just get some more energy out the deck, really. Yeah, we'll do that. So Ethan's Adventure. Get another... I suppose we could get another line. I'll put a Quilava back and get a Ho-Oh instead, and then we'll get a basic energy. think that should be alright. So I think we'll end up using another one of these anyway to attack. And we might want another Cyndaquil, right? So that seems alright. And then I will go ahead and use... Although, wait, no, I need the energy. What am I doing? Okay, that could have been horrible. But yeah, we need the energy, so let's not misplay. Attach that there. And I will go ahead and retreat. Bring this guy up. So this is kind of annoying for my opponent to deal with. I would hope, at least. Hopefully. So we can do the Buddy Blast, get 2 prizes in. So, like, just anything off the prizes would be useful. Like energy, I'm guessing. Energy would be nice. Okay. Not super useful, to be honest, because we've just got the other Cyndaquil out of the deck. But we are nearly at a point where we can use Recycler. We might even just want a Recycler now, actually. Yeah, we might just want a Recycler and then Judge. Okay, what's this? What does this do? Okay, that could be quite annoying, but only against Ho-Oh. So my opponent uses a Stampede, which is fine. We get another energy off that. I think probably just want to use a Petrel for a Vessel. Yeah, Petrel for the Vessel sounds good. We could guarantee it, actually, but I was just thinking about getting a Brock for next turn to get the Quilava down. And then I'll discard probably just a Slugma. Although, nah, we'll get rid of Poffin. Poffin's a bit more useless now. Get some more energy out of the deck. Probably just charge up energy to the fresh one. So yeah, we'll put some on this guy. And then we can... Okay, my opponent just concedes. All right. Oh dear.